What's up, everybody? I am Jesse, or GameOverJesse, as all of you may know me, and here with us, as always, is our faithful co-host, Daniel.
That's me, I'm Daniel.
Yes. And returning is our new co-host, Kayla.
Ew.
And a returning or reoccurring guest, one of my favorites, Axel.
Who's he?
We have yet to figure that out.
Oh.
So,
Yeah, Axel, who are you?
yes.
It's a mystery.
Yes. So I believe this is episode 30 of the Highlands Gamescast, but
You're not sure?
I am not. Someone commented a few episodes back, said we've had like 4 episode 26s.
I think we did have a bunch of this.
So that falls on me. I label all of the project files when I edit, like I'll just number them like 26, 27, 28. So I don't know how that's possible, but apparently we've had, yeah. Anyways, so on today's Highlands Gamescast for Monday, May 7th, I believe? Monday, May 7th.
Yeah.
Yes.
It is
We
May 7th.
are going to be discussing Pikachu's origins and a crazy third evolution thing that he was going to have but didn't for some reason. We have Nintendo's 3DS plans for the future. We have Nintendo hiring to work on a new Zelda game. We have Nintendo's quotes on pushing mobile games. Apparently they want to have $1 billion mobile game. I don't think that's necessarily possible, but
or necessarily necessary.
yeah. And we have rumors
Touché.
for Luigi's Mansion 3 for the Nintendo Switch, but this mostly concerns the original Luigi's Mansion for the 3DS that was recently announced. Then we are going to move into the top 5 Zelda crossovers. This is not necessarily crossover games where you can play as Link, but random games that have like Easter eggs or cameos of Link. So it'll be fun, and we'll end it as always answering questions from you guys sent in from the mailbag. If you want to have your questions featured on the mailbag, then you can head over to patreon.com/GameOverJesse, just as Megan Nill, Casey Willis, Rusty Caulfield, Link Used the Triforce, Tight-Lipped Gaming, Robbie Morgan, Shadow to Us, Lovable Christie, Key of Time 15, Lunarial, Michelle Jones, Ashley, Monica, Justin, and the one did. A lot of people there, but hardly any of them actually ask questions.
They just want to see your
I
beautiful
feel like
face.
mostly like Ashley, and then I saw a question from the one, but that's
The
about
one,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, they always send in stuff. Gus always sends in questions.
Yeah.
So, yeah, everyone, if you want to have your question featured and you're not a Patreon, join the Discord group. There is a link in the description, and you can go to one of the chats, just tag any of us to make sure we see it and ask your question. And if we have time at the end of the show, we'll get around to answering it. But our first piece of news, Daniel, Kayla, Axel, did you guys know that Pikachu was originally a squirrel, not a mouse?
A what?
Yes.
I don't know how to feel about that.
Yeah.
Not good.
And did
I
you,
thought Pikachu was a rat, though.
yeah, and
He's
did,
the mouse
did you
Pokemon.
know that he also originally
I'm looking
had-
this up. I don't believe you.
No,
He's
this
the
is all
mouse
part of the same
Pokemon.
story.
No.
Yeah. So,
He doesn't trust your info.
I don't trust Daniel.
all right. So
I don't either, so that's okay.
this specific article comes from Silicon Era, where they source an interview that happened between one of the original creators of Pokemon. But the article says Pikachu originally had a second evolution called Gorochu, with a large fangs and 2 horns. Key illustrators and designers behind the creation of Pokemon in Ken Sugimura, Atsuku Nishida, and Koji Nishino, I hope I pronounced those right, recently got together to talk all things Pikachu in a big interview with Yamiori, I don't know, where some of the interesting things they say is series illustrator Pokemon Monster originally started as a game about fighting with monsters that fit in your pocket. I don't know if you guys knew that. That's where
Makes sense.
pocket monsters comes from.
I mean, they already do. They just have to. We just have a middleman now in the form of the Pokeballs.
Yeah, you just gotta put them in your little ball.
So we were making
Daniel.
with the image of tough-looking monsters fighting each other, but then had some people within the development team say, I want to see more cute monsters. Since the game was getting monsters to fight, collect, and trade, having only tough-looking monsters wasn't enough. After various considerations, it was decided that we needed cute monsters. At this time, we only had 3 designers, and I was the main one in charge of Pokemon designs. However, I am a male and I designed with a boy's heart to make the likes of Mewtwo, Gyarados, Snorlax, Lapras, and other tough-looking monsters. Snorlax isn't that tough. Neither is Lapras.
No,
I think they
not
fall
really.
on like the cute, cuddly side, right?
Or the thick side.
Yeah, tough-looking Pokemon designs
Daniel.
was all I could think of. So the thought of cute monsters didn't even cross my mind. So that's when we got help from a female designer, Nishida-san, who was tasked with designing Pikachu. What kind of request did you get at the time? Let's see. I requested only to make an electric type and a monster with 2 evolutions. There wasn't any specifics about the animal to be based on. I didn't draw it on paper and directly design the pixel art, so there isn't any data of it now, but the first prototype I designed for Pikachu was a Defeku-like creature in the shape of a long What is a Defeku, guys?
A Daifuku?
Yeah, Daifuku, that's it.
It's a Japanese dessert.
Yeah, rice cakes, what it says. Okay.
Wait, what? See, now I'm more confused.
I'll leave the rest to your imaginations, but it was nothing like Pikachu you know today. At the time, the Defeku-like monstrous creation, Ishido-san named it Pikachu. At first, you couldn't really distinguish what part of its head and its body. I named it without giving it much thought, but since it was an electric type, I threw in a Pika, editor's note from the Japanese onomatopoeia, Pika Pika, meaning glitter, sparkle, or shine. I didn't have a mouse in mind in the chew, a Japanese mouse, noise like squeak part. It's getting confusing. Translation overload. And I actually don't remember the reason, but anyway, the name Pikachu came first, and from there, it was made into a mouse. As a result, it was carried by its name, made into a mouse. I believe it was the president, Satoshi Tajiri, who decided to make it an electric mouse. Game designer Nishida-san and I corresponded while creating Pikachu, and the name Pikachu really resonated with me personally, and I thought cute, and from there I started liking Pikachu more and more for the reason when I was shown Defeku-like design, I asked Nishida-san to make the design even cuter. So you have this big guy, Nishino picture above, who was actually the model for Snorlax. Oh, that's gotta be crushing. Could you imagine someone telling you you're the model for Snorlax? So you have the perfect body type for Snorlax.
Me.
You kidding me? I'd be just like, yeah, Snorlax.
Yeah.
No.
I've always liked and fancied characters. It was always difficult to enter which characters to keep. Where I'm trying to find the highlights of this. But I can't
there's a lot of
necessarily-
talking. I think like one thing that I noticed was that they were gonna have 3 evolutions, but they ended up only doing 2 from Pikachu to Raichu, and then there's a Gorochu, and Goro is supposed to be an onomatopoeia for a rumbling used in the context of thunder, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it definitely makes sense to introduce the cute designs.
I just can't get over the fact that basically
So-
Pikachu's name means basically like a sparkly squeal.
Yeah.
That's what I'm taking with
So
this.
a quick, a shortened version from Go Nintendo says the Pokemon news just keeps coming. We learned about Pikachu's squirrel origins the other day, and now we learned that there's a lost evolution for Pikachu as well. The info comes from Pokemon illustrator Atsu Nishida, who said at one time there was an evolution for Pikachu after Raichu called Gorochu. The design included fangs and a pair of horns. The evolution ended up being cut from the game due to balancing issues. So.
Balancing issues. Wait.
Yeah.
They didn't want 152 Pokemon?
Maybe he was just too OP.
Yeah, he could have been.
You electric
That's the only
for
thing that
me.
I'm thinking of is because Pikachu and Raichu, like, they haven't created a third evolution for them. They kind of supplemented like a new baby form, like with Pichu, right?
Yeah.
So they still haven't added like a new third evolution after Raichu. They've just added in the Pichu. Or
Now you've got surfboarding Raichu.
surfboarding Raichu.
Yeah, but it's just his tail.
Yeah, don't surfboarding Raichu and regular Raichu, totally different.
Yeah.
Not even close to being the same. They're
It's
completely separate.
It's odd they go from Pikachu, which is one of the cutest Pokemon, to something with like horns and fangs and stuff. So
Well, yeah, but if you think about it, most of the Pokemon evolutions actually go that way. Although a lot of the ones that don't start mean turn like a lot of the ones like the third evolution is mean start really cute. Very few Pokemon lines start mean.
Yes, that's very true.
oh, Daniel. All right. So Kayla, what are your thoughts on this weird horned version of Gorochu?
Honestly, I think I wouldn't have wanted to see another evolution because for me, like, I didn't even want my Pikachu to be a Raichu. So I've got that going for me. But like Pikachu, bottom line, is adorable,
Yeah.
is basic. I love Pikachu. Don't change him.
Yeah, I find it's odd that the origins for the design comes from a rice cake and then evolved into a squirrel-esque Pokemon and is now a mouse. So,
Yeah.
or a rat, I don't know.
Well, they clearly iterated on it a lot when they were.
Should have just kept the rice cake.
Should have just kept the rice cake. I think that there's like a lot of Pokemon that apparently started from that design, because if you look at like Clefairy or Clefable and then like Jigglypuff and all of the others, they're all just like pink balls.
Yeah, with ears.
I still think the worst insult in there was the saying that the guy was like the body design for Snorlax, and he didn't even look that big. He looked.
Can you imagine if he found it after the fact? And one day they're just talking over lunch and they're like, "Yeah, Snorlax. Hey, that's John." And he's like,
He doesn't look anything like
What do you mean?
Snorlax,
"What do
though.
you mean that's me?" Like, "Yeah, we based it off you." It's like, just imagine being that guy, being like, "You based the Snorlax off me?"
It's so horrible.
What? That would be terrible.
It's like
I'd
someone.
walk away and never talk to those people again.
Yeah. Alright, well, I guess that takes us to the end of the first piece of news. So, Daniel, would you like to take us into
You okay over there, Daniel?
Yes.
Daniel.
He's just like,
Nintendo's 3DS plans?